It's taking forever. All right, let's see what else we got over here. Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to the mentoring session for today. Today is Thursday, February 15th. It is 7:49 right now. I'm going to finish setting up this room and then we'll get ready for the mentoring session shortly. All right, that's good. All right. Looks like we are good to go. So let me get this link sent out to our mentoring group. And this. All right, people are joining in. Step back. All right, so as people join in, let's get a few moments. I guess I could post this link up over here too. All right, so I'll get a few more moments for people to make their way into this group, guys. But if there's any questions, guys, for the mentoring session today, just feel free to put them in the chat. I think there's going to be a couple of things that we'll be covering, basically the PRV, and then the breakout V3 continuation over here. That's pretty much it for the most part. I don't think there was anything else that really came up. So this is kind of what we'll be looking for. Yeah, let's see. Hawk said for the V3 variation official trade today, there was no V1 confluence. We'll take a look at it right here. So we'll start off with that, Hawk, once the session starts. Yeah, Randy said missed the breakout V3, sat out on the PRV due to the news. Could you review the breakout V3? Yeah, I'm glad that you called it the BV3. I think that makes it so much easier. I think I might call it that too, Randy. So thanks for creating that little acronym, the BV3, because it's kind of it takes a long time for me to say the whole thing out during the live session. Breakout V3 continuation. So BV3, I'm gonna use that. All right, so let's get a few more moments. We have 21 people in here. Typically, there's around like 30 or 40 people. So I'll just let people join in. Let me see if there's more profits here for people to cover. So let's see. We have Kevin over here, also in our group. Total profit of 175. Nice work, Kevin. And then his other accounts over here, total profit of well over 300 for the day. Nice work, Kevin. The breakout V3 and for the PRV. We have Madhu over here, part of our group too, total profit of 855. Nice work, Madhu. And we have Miriam over here, total profit of 1,350. Great work, Miriam. All right, so good profits right there, guys, from everyone. Let's see, Reese over here said, thanks again, Sean, for changing lives out here 1 week and funded and making 1K a day. Anyone think of committing? If you do, just stick to the official trades, almost guaranteed to pass. Yeah, it's crazy. Reese isn't part of the group, but he wanted to be part of the group. He's just like in the on the YouTube stream. But yeah, Reese, he reached out to me. He just joined the group, I think, last week. All he does is take a PRV with us. Um, he passed his challenge, or he passed his evaluation. Last week, he took his first funded trade, I think, today. And yeah, he's up 1K for the day, which is amazing. So I'm always happy to help people out who want the help, right? There's a difference between people who will like reach out to me and tell me, hey, can you show me your ways or show me how to trade? But they don't actually want to learn, right? They like the idea of making money trading. They like to see profits and stuff, but they don't want to actually put in the work. So like with certain people like Reese here who joined in, he's putting in the work and he's getting funded and making funded profits straight out the gate. So definitely great. So, all right, guys, looks like majority of you guys are here so far, so we can finally get started. The first question for the day is the breakout V3 variation, or as Randy mentioned, the BV3, which is a lot easier to say. So let's go back to the entry over here. So for the breakout V3 continuation, we are looking for a buy signal followed by a green candle, right? First, you want to confirm the trend. You can see that the trend right here starts to shift to the upside. This is once we had a bullish trend. So once we had that bullish trend, we'd start looking for some buys, right? Buy entry over here because of the bullish trend with regard to the pivots, and also it's bullish down here with regard to the trend meter. So we're obviously looking for a buy here. We have a buy signal. We have a green candle that follows it. This right here would be a standalone breakout V3 continuation entry, right? However, we want to apply the strategy with a V1 confluence, basically a V1 pattern where price identifies a reversal back in the direction of our trade. So you can see how price pushes up right here, pulls back. We have a V1 pattern right here. And this provides us the opportunity to have confidence that the trade's going to reverse from this point and push to the upside. So Hawk over here mentioned that there was no V1 pattern, but there was a V1 confluence right here, as you guys can see. It was a little hard to see because the wick is really small in this green candle. But these two right here lined up with each other. This wick and this wick right here is a double wick rejection. If you want to make sure that that's the case, just get the rectangle tool like I do. Get the magnet tool right here. Click on the bottom of the body and then just cover the wick. And if I turn off the momentum here and the pivots, you guys can see that they lined up right there, Hawk. I know it's hard to see, but you just have to like draw the line right there. So it's either a double body or a double wick. That's how you would identify the V1 pattern. And I know you're new, so you're still learning this stuff. And this right here was probably like a really hard one to see. Like I didn't really notice this until like it actually happened. Like the trade came up because this thing right here came up so quickly, right? And the wick was so small. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is, the wicks. And if you have trouble looking at it, I typically just draw a zone right there so that you can see the visualization of it, right? You zoom in, you're like, okay, this is the bottom of the structure. And you're like, okay, this wick here is touching it, not passing it. So it actually meets the criteria. So this right here was the breakout V3 continuation. And as you guys know, it just went straight through. It was a bit overextended though. Let me measure real quick. So it might have been a little, not really actually. Overextension would be like about like 750 or 75 points to 1,000 pips or 100 points. So I think this would still be okay. And right here just ended up pushing right through. I'm not sure where this news came up. I think this news came up later because when this entry came up, there was nothing around this area. So that is pretty much where the entry came up at. Yeah, Randy said I always drop the lines with a strong magnet. I used to miss identifying those a lot. Yeah, and that's why before I didn't draw the structure there, but now that I draw the structure, I'm like, okay, this is pretty clear now. Like it makes sense to me, right? Because once you draw the structure there, you guys can see the actual structure being tested. So you're like, okay, price came up, retested, and came up. You're like, okay, I drew the structure there. So this is actually a break and retest. So if you guys understand the previous, like some strategies that other people use, a lot of people like to trade break and retest strategies. This is basically a break and retest, but our entry is after confirmation. So you got the break and retest off the structure. And then instead of entering just right here, which we could have, I saw people enter here for a V1 variation. We actually wait for the confluence down here. so that we know for sure this trade is probably going to keep pushing up and not just come right back down. So super simple. If there's any other questions regarding the breakout V3 continuation, guys, feel free to pop into the chat. And then we can cover what else you guys would like me to. Otherwise, we will move on to the next trade of the day, which was the PRV entry. So, and I'm glad you guys are posting up your spreadsheets here, guys. Don't fall off on the spreadsheets, right? It's okay if you guys want to just do it at the end of the week, but if you guys want to do it at, pretty much every day, it makes things a whole lot easier because it's going to take away from having to forget about it and then falling behind. So Ross over here, he's currently up, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins and 1 loss. So pretty good win-loss ratio right there, Ross. We have Madhu over here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 wins and 2 losses. Great win-loss ratio right there. And I'm glad that you guys are taking notes here to understand, which entry you guys take or which entry you guys don't take or why you don't take it and stuff like that. So that you guys have a better idea as to how to make changes, moving forward. Kaner over here as well. He has 8 wins, 2 losses. Great win-loss ratio, 80%. We have Kevin here. Pretty good too. Kevin's at about like a little bit in profit, but it's all good. He's going to bounce back into it. We have Natasha here, 7 wins, 1 loss. Great work, Natasha. We have Song, 9 wins, 2 losses. Everyone here has pretty good win-loss ratio. It's okay if you guys have a bad win-loss ratio, but we're going to work towards that, right? So this month, it's okay if you guys are not doing so great. Like, don't feel embarrassed to not share your spreadsheet because you have like a bunch of losses and you see everybody with a bunch of wins. This is the month to make mistakes, right? Make all your mistakes this month in February, and then in March, we're going to fine tune. We're going to go through your spreadsheet from February. We're going to see, okay, why does he keep losing trades? What needs to be done differently? And from there, we can make adjustments so that you guys can get better. The main goal here is to get better, guys. Every single day, get better. You don't need to be embarrassed in this group. I mean, I know it is a little embarrassing if you see everybody winning and you're the only person losing, but the only way to overcome that is to get help, right? And we're here to help you. So just keep that in mind, guys. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel shy. If you need to reach out to me, reach out to anybody else in the group, we're here to help. That's the whole point of this mentoring group. So hopefully by the end of the month, I think majority of you guys here are already getting funded. So hopefully by the end of the month, even more people get funded. And by the end of next month, hopefully everybody here will be funded. And then by May or March, actually, May, you guys will start getting some payouts. So, all right, other than that, let's take a look at the PRB entry. So for the PRB entry over here, let me just go back and review. So guys, like I said earlier during the live session, I have requirements for it. I just don't tell you guys the requirements because I don't want to have to change the requirements later because I know this is the type of strategy where the requirements will make adjustments. Like I'll have to make adjustments to the requirements over time. I mean, I'm pretty sure if a lot of you guys have started to notice it, when I'm looking for the rejections, I'm looking for rejections off the pivots. There's no surprise there. I always tell you guys that I look for price to push up and come back down. If you guys have not caught up on yet, I'm looking for rejections off the pivots. There's a whole reason why they're on the chart, right? If I didn't need to use the pivots, I wouldn't have them on the chart. So for the PRB entry, there's set requirements. So like whenever people have an opinion, like, hey, you should enter at this different price point, I'm like, no, it's not because I have set requirements for the strategy. So if you guys want to make your changes with yourself, it's completely fine. If you guys think you could find better entry at the PRB, that's fine. You guys can do that. But for me, I have a set requirement where I'm looking for something very specific. So like when I say space, but there's something that I'm looking for specifically. It's just that space isn't always going to be the same. So I'll say sometimes I need space that's like a doji, or I need space that's like a double wick on both sides, or I need an even balanced candle. There's a specific candle that I'm looking for. It's just, I can't tell you which one because it's always slightly different. So, all right, guys, let's go to the PRB right here. This is 6:30 market open. We had a bearish trend, so we were looking for a sell here. Then price shifted to the upside right here. Now we were looking for a buy because the trend shifted to the upside, right? I'm looking for price to come back down, reject off the pivot, or basically reject off structure. No rejections right there. Price comes back up. There's no rejection right there. Price does come down a little bit, but there's no rejection. There's also space right here. But again, this is the type of candle I'm looking for, but this happens after the rejection. There's no rejection yet. Price comes down right here. We have the rejection right there. Off the pivot. Momentum here is bullish. Trend meter is bullish. We're looking at a lot of different things here. That's like the first step. So this is where price kind of goes sideways, and there goes my space, right? So you guys can see it. The space is, it is what I call it, but it's not always going to look the same. Right here, you can see there's a wick on both sides, same level, basically. It shows that price is going sideways. Price comes down, comes back up, and this is my entry point. And that's where I take entry. Price goes sideways for a bit, for a long time actually, but eventually comes up and hits the CP. And that's a PRB entry right there. So yeah, guys, if there's any questions regarding the PRB, feel free to put them in the chat. You know, my goal here is really to help you guys. You might not understand or see it right away, but you know, we're like 15 days into February, about 2 weeks into identifying the PRB entry. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are starting to identify it, and you guys are able to see it a lot better. I mean, realistically, the pattern that you're looking for is you're just looking for a W pattern, right? You're looking for price to go up. You're looking for something like this. Price goes up, retrace, space, retrace, continuation. That's literally what you're looking for. The only thing here is that my indicators make it so much easier to identify it, because it's not always going to be a clean W, right? This wasn't a clean W here. Price came up, came down, sideways, came down a little bit, came right back up. It's like a messed up W. But it's a W still, right? That's literally all that I'm looking for. So every time I take a trade, I'm looking for a W. It might be a perfect W, it might be an ugly W, it might be a half W. It's a W pattern. But I'm using my indicators here to pretty much pinpoint the exact entry for my trade. So yeah, there goes a PRB entry, guys. If there's any other questions regarding that, you know, feel free to pop into the chat. If there's any other question that you guys have, feel free to pop into the chat. You know, whatever you guys want me to help with, whether it be anything that you guys are struggling with, you know, trade psychology. Even myself, I had troubles with trade psychology on Monday and Tuesday, right? I didn't hold on to the trade. Yeah, exactly. CT said the pattern for the sell is an M. So like basically when you're looking for a buy, you're looking for price to come up. And that's kind of what you're looking for. That's for the PRB. Same with the sell. You're looking for price to come down. Same thing. It's just in the opposite direction. But yeah, guys, you know, trade psychology, like as you guys can see, it's not gonna always like your trade psychology is never gonna be 100%. On Monday and Tuesday, I was kind of thrown off. That's why I had partial profits. If you guys looked at my profits for the week so far, my goal now moving forward is to lead by example, right? I gotta let the trades run, whether it be a TP or a stop loss, I gotta let it run. So you can see over here on Monday, yeah, on Monday over here, I locked in some partials, right? I was supposed to lock in 1,500. I locked in 1,000. On Tuesday, I was supposed to lock in 1,500. I locked in like 700. Or I locked in a little more. Yeah, 700. And then I took a loss yesterday, and then I made the win today, so I'm back in profit for the week. So, you know, just moving forward, I just gotta stick to the game plan, right? I gotta hold on to it, let it run to CP or let it run to stop loss, and I just gotta trust the strategy. That's just how it's gotta play out. It's a one-to-one strategy, so the only way for me to do it is to really just like let the trade run. I mean, it's tough. Like today was tough. I was inching to close out of the position. Like whenever it got up here, and I was like, all right, I gotta close out. I'm like, fuck. It came right back down. Like as soon as I was gonna close out, it came right back down. I was like, damn, I can't close out anymore. It came back up, and I was like, okay. And it came back down, and it came back up, and it came back down. And right here, I was like, okay, I just gotta let the trade play through. And then it finally did, right? It went straight through. So the you know, the goal here is really just you just got to stick to the game plan. My game plan here is to hold on to the position to full TP or full stop loss. I got to remember that it's a one-to-one strategy. The reason why I'm so paranoid with this was because we used to trade, or we typically trade a negative risk to reward. So when you're trading a negative risk to reward, it makes sense to pull out early. You know, if you don't feel comfortable, you got to pull out, because if you lose a trade, you're going to be in the hole like 2 or 3 trades. For For this here, it's like, okay, I'll be in the hole for one day and then I'll make it back the next day. So it's different. Like for this, it's okay to let the trade run to TP or stop loss because eventually it's going to balance out. You know, the win-loss ratio is super high. So even if we have a couple losses, it's going to bounce back the next day. So I'm going to work on my trade psychology with that. You know, again, the strategy is still kind of new to me, so I don't have as much trust in it as I should, but it is getting better. It's getting better, especially because the TP stop loss is so tight. Our stop loss on here is tighter than it is for our normal scalp, right? Our normal scalp has a 30-point stop. So again, that's another thing that I have to get used to, having a tighter stop. Tighter stop and a bigger TP, right? It's a complete mind flip because I'm used to just getting in and out super quickly, not holding on to the position for like 10 minutes or 11 minutes. But we'll get better, guys. It's going to take some time. Yeah, Patricia said holding is really tough. Call me out in live. Yeah, exactly, Patricia. I'll make sure that all of us hold on to it. I'm going to keep giving you guys a heads up. I'm going to give you guys, and that's the whole reason I was looking for, if you guys were watching me during the live session, I kept looking for reasons for price to go up, right? Because there was no reasons for price to come down. There was only reasons for price to go up. Like the news was positive. We also looked at the structure here and I said, okay, if price goes up, it's going to have to go up to the 1 minute structure right here. And that's what gave me hope. I was like, okay, if price pushes up, it's going to push up to this point. And I just kept holding on to it and it finally did. So, you know, I'll try my best to keep analyzing the market and see if there's any hints or any tips that like will kind of tip us off that, okay, we should maybe get out of this position. But realistically, it's really just holding on to it. Um, yeah, exactly. Randy said part of it is because of the execution spread also. TV usually hits, but the trade often doesn't get pulled out until like a little later. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Randy. 100%. All right, let me just scroll up real quick. Delicia said, I have to confess that I blew my account yesterday. I got into revenge trading and hit the drawdown. I was at 91% win rate prior to my losing streak yesterday. Every time I hear you say that you're sticking to your trading plan, it helps. So I decided that I will no longer trade outside of our live. I need to hear that voice in my ear. Yeah, exactly, Delicia. You know, I'm trying to lead by example because if I'm taking like 10, 20 trades, you guys are going to want to take 10, 20 trades too, right? So I'm taking one trade to show you guys that that's all you really need. If you want to take more, then that's great. But if you stick to the live session, I'll give you guys all the analysis that you need to really understand. But eventually in the future, so like for this mentoring group, it's really just like, you know, if you had the trade psychology down, Delicia, you wouldn't have had that losing streak, right? You would have just cut it off at that one loss. So, you know, this mentoring session is to get you guys into that discipline to understand when to stop. So it's okay right now to just follow what we're doing on the live. But in the future, if you want to keep trading outside the live or you want to trade on your own, you can. You just have to understand, like, okay, when do I cut it off? Like, when do I stop trading? For me personally, one loss and I'm done, right? Even when I was scalping the regular scalps, I would just cut it off. Like once I hit one loss, I'm like, okay, I don't feel good. I'm done trading for the day because I already know if I keep trading, I'm going to go into a downward spiral. So it's all good, Delicia. You know, it's everybody goes through it, and you're only 15 days into this mentorship. So like the good thing is that you're learning from it. You're understanding, you're not putting the blame on somebody else, right? I feel like with trading, a lot of people want to put the blame on somebody else. Once they revenge trade, they want to blame somebody. Like they want to blame the strategy that they're using, the person who created the strategy, the person who gave the analysis. Like realistically in trading, you just have to take the blame. Like if I take a loss and it's not my fault, I don't care. I still take it. Like yesterday, right? Yesterday we took, or the PRB lost yesterday. And I just took the trade, like I just took the loss. I took the loss and I was like, all right, whatever. I'm out of the position. You don't see me blaming the market like, oh, I got manipulated out right here, right? Even though we did get kind of caught in manipulation, because if you look at the trade, it shot up and it came right back down, right? Or even the trade before that, the other loss. Like this trade over here it was obviously not our fault. Price just like shot up and then it came right back down on TP. But you can't think that way. You just got to take responsibility for everything, whether it's a win or whether it's a loss. That's the only way that you'll get over it and you won't keep thinking about it and want to revenge trade your way back in. So it's all good. It's all psychology, guys. It's, you know, you'll get better over time. You're not always going to be at your 100%. Like for me, I wasn't at 100% on Monday or Tuesday, but today I was at 100%. I let that trade run and I let it ride and it played through. So definitely agree. Madhu said it was a bit difficult telling whether you were in the trade today. I didn't hear the order filled or see a markup on your screen originally. I had asked in the chat if you were in while it was going sideways at the entry, but I did get a response. So I pulled early because of news and not wanting FOMO. Yeah, my bad, guys. I think the volume was off on my laptop, so I didn't say order filled like it normally does. Um, or actually, I think it was because well, that as well, but I also didn't enter how I normally do. Like for today, I put a pending order. I'm not going to do that. I feel like putting the pending order there made me more stressed out because I wasn't sure that I was in the position. So today was kind of a weird day, but it taught me that I have to just stick to my game plan, right? I can't put pending orders. I just got to get in right away. And moving forward, I'm just going to take every single trade that comes up. I'm not going to skip any. So if you guys want to take all the trades with me, take them all. Not going to skip any trades. And if you don't feel comfortable, then just don't take the trade, right? But for the most part, just assume that I'm in the trade for every PRB because I'm just taking one trade a day. I'm holding it to the win-loss ratio so that even if I do have a loss, it's going to bounce. I know I'm going to bounce back from it, and it's not going to be a big deal to me specifically. So yeah, just assume that I'm in every single position for the PRB when they come up with no restrictions, aside from the 7 o'clock rule. So I'm not going to take any trades after 7, but if the trade comes between that time period, and even if there's news, I'm still going to take it. Yeah, Hawk said when you're in a trade, the emotions are volatile. It's easier said than done. The emotions are irrational at times. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Hawk. 100%. Sometimes you're in a super high. Like for today, we were in a super high. That could have been a recipe for disaster, right? I was super excited because I was like, dang, I've never locked in this much profit off like one trade, 27,600 across 20 accounts. So I could have been on a super high right here and I could have taken more trades, but sticking to my game plan, I'm taking one trade a day, PRB, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I agree. Your your emotions do get volatile. Like for example, today I was tripping out because I was like, man, do I pull out? Do I hold on to it? But now I'm just gonna keep holding on to it. I gotta man up to it and stick up to the game plan because that's just what it is. Um, yeah, exactly. Jeff said you go for A rating trades, 100%. Miriam said I need help with copying my trades in my journal using a link. Right now I do manual entries. So what are you trying to do, Miriam? Let's see. So she's trying to copy her trades using a link. Oh, so are you trying to copy like your screenshot of your trade? Is that what you're trying to do, Miriam? Because if you want to take a screenshot of your trade right here, you'll click on the camera button, click on copy image, or sorry, not copy image. You'll just have your chart open like this. So for example, if you want this to be saved like this, click on the camera button, click on copy link. At the bottom right here, it'll say link copied to your clipboard. And then from there, you'll go over to your trade journal. You'll go to markup right here, click on the box, click on the empty box right here, paste it, Control V, or either Control V or right click paste, and then you'll have the link right there. So if you want to pull it up, you'll have the link right there for your entry. So I'll just update mine too, since I'm already here, I might as well. So today is the 15th. The entry came up super late, 6:59. I just know it was at the last minute. It was for a buy entry, win, 25 points, PRB. And that is my spreadsheet so far. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, Patricia said, Sean, did you notice all the losses on the PRBs are a sell? There was one right here that was a buy. Let me check it real quick. But I did take a look at that too. I think this right here, we just got caught in a spike, right? It's the same. All of our losses that we've gotten caught in are because of these random spikes. Um, So yeah, I did start to notice that it's against the sentiment. The long-term direction is typically going to be for a buy. But yeah, if you just pull up all of our losses, so these are our losses for the PRB. We've only lost three PRBs so far. Officially, we've taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have so 6 divided by 9. We currently are at a 66% win rate, but for the month of January, from our back testing, it's been all wins. So right here, yeah, just looking at these here, Patricia, I mean, yeah, the two losses here were for sells. But what I've noticed is that every time we took a loss here, it was because of we just got caught in a spike. It was just like, I don't know if it's just unlucky, which might be the case. We're just unlucky, but there's never been a loss where it's been like a slow loss where it just goes opposite. It's just as soon as we enter the trade, it just spikes down, stop loss. This trade right here spikes up, stop loss, right? Oh, here it spikes up, stop loss as well. But it's never been like a slow, like where it kind of goes to your stop loss and you're like, crap, like you were completely wrong on that trade, right? It's just we get caught on these spikes. So yeah, I've seen that a lot of the losses have been for sells. But then also looking at we don't really have them here because I don't have the data from the previous ones. I should have made a spreadsheet for that when we had the data, but it does come into mind. So in the future, we're going to keep taking screenshots of these trades, and then once we have more data here, we can see, okay, if this is the case, I'll have to figure out a way to identify, okay, maybe if price spikes, we just pull out of the position, right? But I think as of now, we're just going to have to eat the losses when they come because overall, they're just going to keep playing through regardless, long term. But yeah, no, that's a good assumption right there, Patricia. And that's something that we'll definitely look at, moving forward into our next PRB entries. But you guys can see here, it's at a 70% win-loss ratio, actually higher if you include the previous PRBs as well. How's the win-loss ratio here higher? I'm like kind of confused why one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10. Okay, sorry, it was I did the math wrong. It's actually 9 divided by 12. So the win-loss ratio for all the PRBs that we've taken on the live session is actually 75%. So we actually have a really, really high win-loss ratio right now for our official PRBs that we've taken. Obviously, if you incorporate all of the entries from March up until now, or January up until now, it's going to be a lot higher, like around 85 to 90%. But this is where we're at with official entries that we've taken, on these live sessions. So pretty solid. Lucas mentioned I also missed today because I wasn't sure. Today's mentoring session helped his understanding. Yeah, exactly. Scared money don't make money. Yeah. Yeah, I can't be scared, guys. If anybody can be scared, it can't be me because I'm leading you guys into this trade. So I gotta go full on into it. I gotta let the trade run, whether it hit TP or stop loss. And then we just continue to follow through with it. So I'll try my best to do that, guys. Moving forward, I think I'm just gonna let the trade run and then not touch just not touch the trade at all once I'm already in. Yeah, William said I was unsure if we had entered and also had some hesitancy, which hasn't happened in months. I was hesitant because of the pending order. I also didn't hear the robot thing announced that the entry. So from now on, if Sean is in, I'm in. Uh, what you just said helps. Either you're in or you're out of the scalp. Yeah, exactly. So just whenever I take the trade, whenever the PRB comes up, guys, just assume that I'm in the position. I'm always going to be in the position regardless. Whether it be by all my accounts or just a few accounts, I'm going to be in the position. The only difference is that, yeah, if I'm going to chicken out, then yeah, maybe I'll close out. I'll take it on just maybe a few accounts versus all of them, right? I think that's the only difference. But just expect me to be in the position every single day that it comes up. So. All right, guys, I think this is it for the day. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I think the mentoring group has been great so far, guys. I've seen a lot of you guys pass. I've seen a lot of you guys get funded, make some payouts, make profits and stuff like that. And you guys are posting up your spreadsheets here. That's been pretty helpful, not just to you, but to everybody else here because they can see that everybody is sticking to the game plan. So. Yeah, exactly. William says, so Sean in the group admitting this to you all helps me a lot. I'm great at being purely mechanical and being profitable, but sometimes my psychology gets in the way. Yeah, no, that's the thing with a lot of people. I think that's the thing with me too, personally, right? I think psychology is something that you'll never really completely get down, but you just get better at it every single day. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. If there's any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow morning as we officially close out the trading week. Hopefully, one more PRV entry, and we can wrap this up on a good note. So.